Hello, my name's Renee Calvo. I'm the leader of the band The Goddess Lakshmi here in Harlem, New York City, and today we're going to talk about the 5 basic modules of the synthesizer. I hope you enjoy it. The first synth we're going to look at is the ES1, which is located inside of Logic. And all of the synths I'm going to show you today are inside of Logic. Now the first and most important section is the oscillator, section 1 inside that red box. And this one has 2 tone generators, and there's a slider where you can mix between them. And also you'll see the numbers 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. That gives you the relative pitch. And by picking a larger number, you get a much lower pitch. In the second section, we're looking at the filter, and that's a low-pass filter. It's set at 24 dB, which is pretty standard. And there's a cutoff knob there, and that's going to be very important to know about that. The third section is the amplifier, which is typically linked to an envelope. And the envelope is right below. That's another important section. And the envelope has 4 components: the attack, the decay, the sustain level, and the release. And you're going to have to know about how to manipulate those controls, because they are very important. And then the 5th section is the LFO, or the low frequency oscillator. And the low frequency oscillator are tones that are inaudible to us. They go from 0 to 20 hertz, and they are, even though we can't hear them, they are used to kind of mess with the other modules and create vibrato and tremolo and effects like that. And this one, you can route it to any of the other sections. There's a little routing section in the center. So that's basically the 5 major components of synthesis, and I'm going to show you a couple of other synthesizers and just kind of quickly point out where those controls are. This one is called the ESE. It's much simpler. You only have 1 tone generator there in section 1. You have 2 controls for your filter, which must be automatically set at 24 dB because you can't control that, but you can control the cutoff and the resonance. Number 4 is the envelope there, right to the right there, and you only get attack and release on that one. 3 is the volume control, which is linked to that attack and release. And number 5, the LFO, and once again only 1 knob. It must be routed to the cutoff, because where else would it go? This little guy is called the ESP. Very interesting. You can set multiple sine waves in the oscillator and put them at different levels. If you look at the filter, your sound shaping, you have a frequency control and a resonance control on there. And if you look at number 3, your volume control, which is linked to the envelope once again, and you have your attack, decay, sustain, and release adjustments. And then if you look at number 5, the LFO section, once again to control your vibrato and your tremolo. So it's a pretty simple unit, and it's pretty interesting. You got to check this one out. And lastly, we have the ES2, which is once again a very complex one. There are 3 different oscillators in section 1 there. There are multiple filter controls. If you look in section 3, you'll also see multiple amplifier controls where you can control different modules. And the envelope is also very complex, lots of precision sliders there. And number 5, the LFO, and this one has 2 LFOs, so you can route them to different parts of this module. So that's the 4 different modules that I am going to review for you. So hopefully I've given you a starting point for experimenting with these different synthesis modules. I would highly recommend going on YouTube and Googling each one of these different controller units and watching an expert play with it. That's really going to give you some insight into how to get the kind of sound that you want out of one of these babies. Hey, have a good time, and I hope you enjoyed the course as much I have, and I've learned a tremendous amount, and it's been really great getting to know all of you guys. I'm gonna miss you.